Long ago in the land of Egypt, the Hebrew people lived in slavery under Pharaoh's cruel rule. Among them was a man named Moses, who had once lived in Pharaoh's palace but fled to the desert after defending a fellow Hebrew. Years later, while tending sheep on Mount Horeb, Moses saw a strange sight, a bush that burned with fire but was not consumed. As he approached, the voice of God called to him from the flames. God told Moses he had seen the suffering of his people and chosen Moses to lead them out of bondage. At first, Moses was afraid and uncertain. He questioned his ability, but God promised to be with him. Armed with his brother Aaron and the staff of God, Moses returned to Egypt. Confronting Pharaoh, he delivered God's command, "Let my people go." Pharaoh's heart was hard and he refused, bringing plagues upon Egypt. Finally, after the death of the firstborns, Pharaoh relented, and Moses led the people out. But their journey was far from over. It had only just begun. After escaping Egypt, the Israelites wandered through the wilderness, led by a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. They crossed the Red Sea, where God parted the waters before them and closed them upon Pharaoh's army. Still, the people grumbled, hungry, thirsty, and tired. Yet God provided manna from heaven and water from rocks. In the third month of their journey, they camped at the foot of Mount Sinai. There God called Moses up the mountain to speak with him alone. Thunder rolled, lightning flashed, and the mountain trembled with smoke. The people watched in awe and fear, knowing they were in the presence of the Almighty. Moses stayed on the mountain for 40 days and nights. During this time, God gave him the laws that would guide his people, a covenant between God and Israel. These were not mere rules, but divine principles to live by, written by the very finger of God upon stone tablets. As Moses descended the mountain with the 2 stone tablets, the people below had fallen into sin. In his absence, they had crafted a golden calf and began to worship it, breaking the very covenant being delivered to them. Moses, seeing their disobedience, shattered the tablets in anger. But God, in his mercy, called Moses again and renewed the covenant. On the mountain, God spoke directly, giving Moses the 10 Commandments. "You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make idols. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Honor your father and mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. You shall not covet." These commandments would become the foundation of moral law for generations. Moses returned with new tablets, and this time, the people listened. They pledged to follow the ways of the Lord. From that day forward, Moses was known not just as a leader, but as the lawgiver of Israel. He guided the people for 40 years through the wilderness, always trusting in God's promises. The 10 Commandments were kept in the Ark of the Covenant, a sacred chest that traveled with them, symbolizing God's presence among his people. Though Moses would not enter the promised land himself, he left behind a people transformed and a law that would echo through history. Prophets, kings, and even future nations would draw wisdom from these commandments. Moses stood as a bridge between man and God, speaking not only to Israel, but to all humanity about justice, mercy, and obedience. His story reminds us that even the most unlikely person can be chosen for a great purpose. Through faith and humility, Moses delivered not only a people, but a message that endures forever. The 10 Commandments remain a beacon of truth in a world searching for direction. His story is a reminder that even in our weakness, we can be used for great things. Through trials and triumphs, Moses showed unwavering trust in God's promises. If this story moved you or gave you something to think about, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. and hit the bell icon so you never miss another inspiring story.